Alrighty. We are voicing over once again. Now we're masters of it now that we've put a video on YouTube of it. That was only 7 minutes. This one's significantly longer. So this is red card, search and destroy. Okay. I play a lot of games, you know. Uh, Maybe not the most, but a lot. Enough to where I'm like, wait, what? Which one of these have I recorded? I swear they updated the game to where the glare off of a gold gun is worse. I remember, I don't ever remember like needing to change the camo. I like my gold gun. You know, and I earned that. But like, if I go on derelict, for example, and try to play with that, there's just certain angles where I'm blinded, you know, and that doesn't work. That's not gonna work for me. So I hope they change that. If I had diamond, I probably wouldn't have that problem, weirdly. But yeah, lost that one, I think, right? Yep. I'm kind of half watching the Commanders game right now, playing the Cowboys. Not that it super matters, but anyway. Yeah, so right here I'm telling my team, look, that didn't look good, but we can win. And guess what? They can't hear me. I thought they could hear me. They can't hear shit. Now I know if your mic is working, you'll get a little notification on the right saying you are speaking. You have a little mic in your name on your gamer tag on the right side of the screen. You learn something new every day. And this is one take. We're going one take on this video. This is long, and we're going to try one take. If I do go with the if I do have to cut it for whatever reason, then I will come clean about that. But that's where we are right now. I like the idea of putting a map in a soccer stadium, putting a Call of Duty map in a soccer stadium. I don't know why. I mean, I like soccer, I like FIFA. A boop 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 boop. Aim was good there. Later on, there's one where I'm like, what the fuck? Didn't get an ounce of aim assist there. I think it works less at a certain distance. I don't know. I think maybe because there was a railing. You'll see. You'll see. Here, I think I have the bomb. I mean, who wouldn't think that they picked up the bomb there, right? I did not pick up the bomb, weirdly. But I thought I did. The pros really like, they say they really like red card, search and destroy. They're like, no, red card, search and destroy is godly, dude. It's godly. What else did they say? They say it's cracked. Trying to flank him here. And it worked. I do not recall. What happens here? I don't think I get the last kill. Oh, I do, yeah. I definitely took too long to kill him. That could have gone worse for me, but we got the dub. That's one where, yeah, this is one where I'm like, I should have, like, oh, because I went down the steps, maybe it went off of him. I don't know. Aim assist does not work the same way every single time. This is what I've learned. Like I play Black Ops 2, and I'm like, aim assist works the exact same way every single time that I use it. Every time that it activates, it's so predictable. In this game, it's the exact opposite of that. Sometimes I lose aim assist when I'm moving, and other times I don't. You know, it's actually annoyingly effective in Black Ops 2 now. So I think maybe they were trying to um, make it so it felt better by having some sort of like adaptive, um, maybe even AI sourced aim assist. I don't know. It's probably just a connection thing. Because aim assist, I swear, people think I'm crazy. People act like I'm stupid, but aim assist is the first thing to go with lag. I feel like that's the hardest thing. And they're like, okay, if you can't see what you're shooting, then aim assist isn't going to matter. So let's make sure if like the computer if the server's over, if some part of the game is overridden or overwhelmed computer like computationally, if there's too much of a load on whatever the computer, the Xbox, the server, whatever it is, let's make it so that you try to make it as playable as possible, as fast as possible. First thing you take off is aim assist. I think. I feel pretty strongly about that. I'm sure there's people who would say, "Oh no, you're stupid. It doesn't work like that at all. You don't know anything about computers. Shut the fuck up." Because that's how people are on the internet. And then there's other people who'd be like, "That makes a lot of sense to me." I don't know. I'm not the first person to say, "Why did I get no aim assist on that fucking play?" Why did I slide? Why didn't I slide even though I was sprinting and press B? There's a lot of things. I also find sometimes that I'm just kind of complaining a little bit. I'll stop in a second, but I also find that the aim is a little bit weird. Like if there's a little bit of a lag, instead of stopping you, it actually keeps you going. It acts like you kept that input longer than you did. So I'll throw my aim left, or my aim will get thrown farther left or right than it's just no way that I actually put that input in. Um, and there are times where, like, especially like I learned playing FIFA, you know, um, watching replays. Okay, so this guy, I don't know how this guy got there, like how nobody saw him or like or anything like that. But anyway, um, we win those. Oh yeah, no, this guy, I'm like, oh Jesus, what is even? This guy makes no sense to me. This guy's got to be a bot, literally. Like, how the fuck does he play this way? Yeah, I mean, he threw that, and I was like, careful. But yeah, so I would play FIFA, and um, I'd press the wrong button, but I was learning a new game, so I was still learning the inputs a little bit. But in Call of Duty, you got to be kidding me. I've been playing Call of Duty since I'm 26 now, and I've been playing it since I was 10 or something like that. At least, in at least a little bit since I was 10. Anyway, I think the first Call of Duty I ever played was Call of Duty 2. And I watched a video with FaZe Apex interviewing Hex, and he was saying the same thing. He was playing Call of Duty 2. I didn't play multiplayer at all, though, until Modern Warfare 3, because my family couldn't afford Xbox Live, actually. um, yeah. And they didn't want me to have Xbox Live, but also they didn't want to pay for it. At a certain point, it was like, okay, you're not just protecting me from the world of gaming from all those random people online. You're just not wanting to pay for Xbox Live, which felt really too expensive. It's sort of it feels like, for whatever reason, it feels like a human right that you should be able to play this game online, like, for free, you know. And you can, PlayStation, obviously. I don't know if it's still free for online for with PlayStation, but yeah, that. So I bet that contributed a little bit. I guess because everybody just plays it. Like, it's just so many people have access to online play that we feel like we should all be able to do it. I mean, it's just such a fun way to play the game. I feel like such an engaging way to play the game that it's like, I feel like we kind of everybody who buys the game should deserves that and shouldn't have to pay over $100 a year just to have internet access, basically. But that I'm sure I don't know everything. I definitely don't know everything. Servers cost money. Server maintenance costs money. And PlayStation was, I remember, I'm not an expert on PlayStation Network at all anymore, but you know, it was free, but it also was less reliable, and that's what you get. Um, yeah. Can we just talk about how Xbox Live, like, only grandfathering people in now is fucking crazy? I can't believe that shit. I don't understand what their thought process is on that. Um, but yeah, I mean, like, the fact that you cannot get a new Xbox Live subscription is unbelievable to me. And I heard that they're phasing it out, but they're also going to release a new They're also releasing new consoles in 2026 or something like that. Like, there's new consoles coming out in a not a not too far into the future. Um, so you're even releasing a new system, but only the people who already had Xbox Live memberships in, like, starting like July 2024 or something like that. Only those people can actually use Xbox Live. There will never be, unless they change the rule, there will never be a new user of Xbox Live, supposedly. I mean, it says that on their website. But then you look online and you can see that you can buy a Game Pass gift card, or you can buy Xbox Live. It advertises Xbox Live. So I don't know, but that is. I mean, you can look it up. It's on their website. They say no new memberships. I mean, what the fuck? What the fuck? How does that make any sense? It doesn't. I don't know. Anyway, look at that glare. That it didn't used to be like that. That head glitch was, yeah. I didn't know that head glitch was possible. Also, I'd like to point out that people GA too many things. Okay, the SMGs are already better than most of the ARs, and you only allow the GPR and the aims. Come on now. Are the SMGs? I'm pretty sure the SMGs are better than the ARs. I mean, I've used all of them. You hear a lot of different things, though, and you can't trust everything you hear. They're like, oh, lowest time to kill is this gun. No, it's this gun. No, it's this gun. They nerfed this gun. Who the fuck knows if any of that is true whatsoever. I mean, also with the whole cheating thing too, like, it's kind of in a pro player's best interest to make everybody think that there's a lot of more cheaters than there are technically, because you're gonna have if you have a negative interpretation of the game, if you have negative beliefs about your environment and your experience and your potential, right? If you believe that people are cheating, then you believe that you have limited potential in the game. It's very, very likely that that's the case, and so Yeah, this time I was like, you guys get the bomb. That's why I ran backwards. But it also, I think, messes up their timing a little bit if you do that, but not as much in Search and Destroy. So yeah, I think that there's a little bit of incentivizing of that kind of mentality, and but there, I mean, there are definitely people cheating in this game. There's no denying that whatsoever. However, if you're saying somebody's cheating, you're not necessarily there's not it's not necessarily true. You don't necessarily actually believe that. You may be undermining the people that you play against because, it's a competitive thing uh at its core, at its base. And on the topic of competition and competitiveness, uh it's kind of crazy when you think about how competitive this game is. Like, whoever plays Call of Duty online without trying to win, without genuine, like, without. I mean, there's definitely like ways to have fun and just like play very casually, and that's fine. And there's, plenty of times where I'm like, I just tell myself, well, it's just a fucking game. Uh, so, and I just laugh it off. I laugh off whatever L just occurred. Oh, look, an L. This is a good one. This one actually ends up going 5-5. And then you'll see what happens if we win or not. But then, yeah, I mean, think about like, okay, so like NFL football or soccer, right? Those are the biggest game in America and the biggest game in the world. Okay. But you have to travel to the field. In a lot of cases, if you want to play the game against other people, you've got to do like a lot of setup, at least, it takes more effort to do that than it does to get into a game of Call of Duty. In the time it takes you to get into a multiplayer match of Call of Duty, you have like gotten like 1% of the way towards playing a soccer match against your friends or a football game in your backyard, even in your backyard against your friends, you know? Um, so like those things are considered to be more participated in and more competitive. I think there's more money in them, so that definitely contributes as well. When you think about how accessible Call of Duty is, it really makes you think that this is actually one of the most competitive things that exists, environments or games, whatever, that exists. Um, yeah, because and there's a lot of people that play the game, and everybody who plays it tries to win. Not everybody plays multiplayer or ranked play, but still, and not everybody who plays multiplayer is like really sweaty or whatever. But try think of one person who plays the game and doesn't try to win multiplayer, you know. So that's just something I think that not everybody like uh, thinks about all the time. A lot of people like there's sort of a tendency to see yourself as a loser if you play the game, if you play video games, and that's just its own damn thing. And we're definitely done a lot to get rid of that stupid stigma, you know. Um, yeah, I tried to tell him go left. He's left. He's left. Take the bomb off, but he couldn't hear me. Anyway, um, Ocean Space is kind of a good name. Damn, he snapped to that shit. I have a good play in this last one. Yeah, it's underrated how competitive it is because people think that people who play video games are losers in a lot of cases. But I think this will be bigger. Like, think about the number of concussions or broken bones you get playing Call of Duty, right? That's going to become a bigger and bigger thing as we move forward here. Um, and as long as you can manage the toxicity, you can make it unless it's like kind of for nerds here. Hold on, I heard him here. I don't know where he is. Oh, he shot me. I should have seen him out of the left there. I didn't even realize. I love that slide shot, and then boop. I can't believe he didn't shoot me there, but that was a good play. I was happy with that play. And that guy had been killing me all game. I'm pretty sure he was cheating in some way. Um, but yeah, I was like, fuck yeah, when he died. And then something really, this pissed me off right here. Trophy, I should have put a little bit more in cover, but the aim assist didn't really work here. You know, I'm like zigzagging, and if you look at if you look at it in slow motion, yeah, I mean, I was trying to get it to, I was moving the cursor over him, and it didn't lock in at any point. It just went straight through and straight through, and he killed me, but we got away with it clearly. So yeah, you know, it's like if we make it's already like for nerds, right? Kind of, but also it's like for people who there's a toxicity to it as well, to called the Call of Duty community, and as long as you manage that, you're in a really good place with this game, with esports, with whatever you want to do with this game. And for the vast majority of your experiences, they're going to be very positive. Even if you're like telling each other that you suck, it's still like, or you know, you're like being negative to each other, kind of. You're negging. You're not really like being a dick to each other per se. A lot of times you're hating on each other in like, you know, in the space between two ranked play games, but like it's funny. Like there's a, if you saw like if I had the audio, if I had everybody's audio in this, you would see a clip in the last game towards the end of this, and like the last game I play here, where the guy goes, "You suck, you suck, you suck," you know, and we're just laughing because like he clearly wasn't being serious about it. He was just like, you know, trying to sort of put some negative charges into us to try to win the game. You know, it's a more of a competitive thing, and he wasn't really like being serious. But you know, and I said 10-page paper on why we suck, prove it. And people just started laughing harder, you know. And that was actually a positive experience. But you got to be careful with that kind of stuff, because it can definitely be a slippery slope, and we have to be careful of that as a community, as a COD community. Yeah, and that's one thing I definitely thought about a lot before I even did one stream, was like, is this a community that I should be giving the thumbs up to by streaming it, you know? And I'm like, did they shoot the computer? Like, can you shoot the computer and ruin the ability to get the security? I'm not sure about that. I don't know everything. But let me know in the comments if you can. Water break. Yeah, it can get toxic, but if it's more for nerds than for people who want to be assholes, or who are just like lazy pieces of shit, basically, you know, and that's probably negative language, but I don't know how else to say it. Like, you know, this kill, I love this kill, just spraying through the fucking wall and then headshot. I'm not good at wall bangs. I'm not good at visualizing where they are behind the wall. Behind a wall. I haven't been. Maybe I'll get better at it. That was pretty lucky, that double there. Oh, 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 oh. Yeah. He killed me real fast. Real fast there. I watched a video of Hex. I already said this. Hex being interviewed by FaZe Apex. You know, Hex is kind of like, he's got a little bit of a gangsterness to him, and I think he'd be proud for me to say that about him, you know. You know, he mentions in the video, like, who's more gangster, you know, and he's like, we can talk about how gangster I am, you know, That's not a direct quote, but that's exactly what he's saying. And and he does say gangster, but anyway, that's not the point. I he had a little bit, I don't know, where somewhere along the way I was like, well, he doesn't play the game. He's not like a real like pro player, so I'm not that interested in his content. Um, like I'm trying to glean things and gain from and to be entertained by the people who are really good at the game and not necessarily on the managerial side of it. Uh, but I can't play. I don't think I can play the game at a high level forever. I'm 26 right now. I'm not going to be as good as I am at it for now forever. I highly doubt that. But I mean, and we can questionably say that I played at a high level, but you could say that I do. I mean, only in Gold 1, but I haven't played that much rank play. But I'm in the top 1% in the world in TDM wins, so I'm pretty happy with that personally. I'm pretty proud of that. And I actually just got over a 1 win loss ratio, so you could say I suck there, but I only started playing like to win when ranked play came out. I only started giving a shit about winning and instead of KD when ranked play came out. I was like, oh, winning is fun. Um, and a lot of people I think did the exact same thing. I mean, you're kind of expected to play Call of Duty like for yourself, to get kills, to have the best gameplay for you, because it's just a stupid game. Like it's just a video game, and like, you can have whatever experience you want, and nobody's gonna judge you. You might make somebody mad who wants to win, and it's always better to win. But that's just the way that it goes. I feel like everybody looked at it that way. Now with ranked play, damn. So yeah, but then all the problems started when ranked play came out as well. So I don't know. We'll see what happens, and I'm really wondering why the Call of Duty uh, team, like the developers and the social media people and everything, have kind of been, we're still wondering why the fuck they haven't really addressed our concerns as much as they should have. Everybody who plays the game and has legitimate concerns about the game is like, what's with the radio silence? Why? And I'm sure they have been saying things, but they haven't been doing and saying enough about fixing the problems that people and the complaints that people have, so on and so forth. Um, but yeah, back on the topic of Hex, I found that interview to be. I watched every minute of it. I thought it was really good. I thought Hex had a really good vibe throughout it, and so did Apex. Good interviewer and good interviewee. Um, just telling a story and just I didn't know that much. I didn't know Hex's whole story, and it really adds a lot of context to this world and this content that I love, which is video games, Call of Duty, and that a lot of people love. I think is a great idea to put that video out there, and let people know how cool and how legendary Hex is, and add to that story. Um, I wasn't that into his content before, and I still don't, I haven't subscribed to him or followed him on anything like that. Damn, he caught that ball. Damn, that was a really good catch by the Commanders. Oh, touchdown! All right, Commanders are gonna go ahead. Zach Ertz. Anyway, um, yeah, you got Hex. Yeah, you can learn a lot from just how he does an interview. How he holds himself as a man, but as a person. Uh, and the decisions he's made, and the way that he's balanced himself, and the way that he's got a lot of different skills that help him. All of that is really to be emulated. Is emulatable. Is a good it's a good example for a lot of people, I think, and he's a very good influence on the community, I think, as well. He can definitely get into it with people in a sort of negative way. Who doesn't ever argue with anybody? If you're not, then you're probably not standing up for yourself enough, and that's another thing that he helps people. he advocates for is, and he's done a very good job of, is just helping people who can't really fight for themselves, as well as it's not their fault really. And that's one thing that he says in the interview. He's like, look, it's not your fault that, yeah, don't blame yourself for something, because Apex is like, man, I should have done this, that, and the other thing. And he's like, well, don't blame yourself for something that's not your fault. It didn't go your way, but like Apex says, he's got a great attitude about it. He's like, 10 years from now, I'm sure it'll be a blessing. It'll have allowed something to happen that never would have happened otherwise. And yeah, I mean, definitely don't just like give up on like the fighting for yourself, obviously, and nobody's saying that. I don't think Hex was saying that either. But and see the value in that, but also like it's in the past. Like why make the current moment worse by beating yourself up? So those are the kinds of things that were in the interview. And so I was like, yeah, I gained a lot of respect for Hex last night when I was watching that interview. It's an hour and 55-minute interview. I watched the whole thing. I can't believe at the end they say, we talked for 4 hours. You only got 2 hours out of that, 2 hours of content out of that. All right. Yeah. Originally, and I also was kind of like, he's a little bit too gangster for me, you know. But that was like, I just see one thing, and I'm 16 years old. I see one thing, and I write him off, kind of thing. I really wish that I had stayed with this community. I wish that I had stayed attached. We got Kai Cenat on the T-Mobile commercial here. Yeah. Anyway, he's a little bit too gangster for my taste, but I understand why that was working, and I don't blame him for that. Just being yourself or whatever. But yeah, I was like, I don't need that content. Like Scump is all like smiles and fun, and he's funny, and so is Nadeshot mostly. Nadeshot's a little bit more like of a sincere kind of attitude, but that's fine, Yeah, I like both of them. Two people I look up to quite a bit, and I know my content is not of. Oh, I gotta turn off the Roomba here because it's gonna make all the noise in the world. But yeah, those kinds of people. I remember at Optic Big Timer when they were all living in the house together. Right about the time they shut the house down is when I stopped paying attention to this kind of content, and a lot of attention, I should say. But I might have seen like a preview per week of this kind of stuff. You go to college. Hopefully, you can still hear me. You go to college, and you start. You just I got really busy just trying to keep myself afloat. So that concerns of like what I like, the question of like what do I love to do, that fell away for a long time after. Even like before I left high school, I had stopped watching even before I left high school. I was like focused on going to college and getting a degree, getting a good job and everything. And what I've learned in my life is that, like Jim Carrey says, you might as well do something that you love. You can fail at doing something that you don't love, so you might as well do something that you love. Yeah, that's what he said, and I thought that was I think that's a very good point. And what I've seen is that going towards that is something that the universe kind of wants you to do, and that's like a kind of a hippy dippy. That's like a word that that's a phrase that I've heard before, but that's kind of a interesting way to put it, or perspective. But that's what I've seen in my life, is that when I went towards the things instead of just the things that made the most sense with my head, that I was told were the smartest and best things to do instead of uh, going towards the things that I felt I wanted to do the most, like becoming a swim coach. I felt like I could be really good at that, and I turned out to love it, and I didn't care that I didn't make as much money doing it. And this is another one of those things, built making this kind of content. Although it hasn't turned into money yet, I think that it will, and I hope that it does. And I think that if I did make money, I would be a very good influence on the community and all of that. I think everybody would benefit from that, you know. Um, but yeah, and it just brings joy to your life and enriches your life to go towards the things that you love to do. Um, and yeah, so you can fail at the things that don't like to do, so you might as well do the things you do like to do. Um, and that's mostly what I had to say on that. Um, let's check in on the game here. The game. I was working very well with, there was only me and one guy talking in this game, one other guy talking in this game, I think. And we were working very well together, but the other two guys, I mean, they were pretty much on top. They were pretty good about it, but you know, um, Blink Link, I think he's in this game. This window is kind of small for me. Um, he killed me. Yeah, Black Ops wasn't very good. Didn't have a mic either. But yeah, we were working pretty well together. I almost friend requested him, but then you see a kill cam at the end of the game that makes me think he might be cheating, and I just didn't even want to risk it. Whenever I see a big ass scope on an SMG, I immediately assume, I'm immediately deeply suspicious that you're cheating. You know, there's just something, I don't know. Every time that they have a kill cam or something, every time I see that, there's a kill cam or something that makes me think you're cheating. It's not even, it took a while for me to get there too. But yeah, like, I mean, it just doesn't make sense to me. It's not practical to me that you would have a big ass 3x scope or 4x scope on an SMG, you know? And on this map specifically, it would actually make a little bit more sense, because if you want to get up and look over, especially in those two houses, then you're gonna have an SMG in your hands at a certain, because there's those, you get up there for P1, and it helps to have an AR and look over what's happening, but you could easily get into a tight situation. You have got a mix of, and every map has a mix of long and short range situations, but this one specifically I think really pushes that. And here I am looking over with an SMG, but I'm like, damn, I need an AR. And then there he actually, I didn't want to go there. My teammate said, go to new, and I was like, wow, I was like, I don't know, we are pretty set up here, so it would make sense, but it's just early. But I went anyway, because he was pretty adamant about it, and I had already ignored him before, and it didn't really go that well. So I was like, okay, I'm going to listen to you this time. We'll see how it goes. And he was totally right. And I was like, all right, I told him. Oh, I'm surprised that nade killed me. I think they should update the grenade indicator. I don't know precisely how, but they should make it more traditional, I think, because I very often I go the wrong direction to get away from a nade. Um, and I cannot be the only one who has that problem. So yeah, I think they should do that. I mean, technically, like, if you're gonna, it's not, because it's not a military simulator. It's a fun game. We've already decided that as a community, and and the developers have agreed and decided that as well. I mean, look at the camos. It's supposed to be fun, not a military simulator. There's other games for that, and so trying to make it so that you can't see where the grenades are. I threw that grenade away because I was going to blow up my teammates if I threw it. Although now I'm thinking, looking at the minimap, I'm thinking the friendly fire would have been worth it, given that it was 2-1 there. But maybe not pissing off my teammate. But got 18 minutes left in this. Yeah, we got this game and at least one more game after this. I forgot what I was talking about there. It's a close one. 15-11, 115, 111. I wanted that kill. And I did. And there was one where, if you look at that slow motion, I definitely had the reticle on that dude and pressed right trigger and just shot right through him. There's a game where we lost, and I lost SR that I cut out of this session because it's us losing 3-0 handily, and also the guy's cheating. There's one guy on their team, literally I shoot through him every single time. Literally like 1 or 2 hit markers. Everything else, the reticle's there, I'm holding down the right trigger and hit nothing but air. I mean, I was mad. But at least I come clean about that, right? That I lost SR that I didn't show you guys. And I did put a loss in here. So that's cool, I hope to get the game chat in. You can hear, to kind of jump around to different points and be discursive. Not to do that, but despite that, I'll go to this next topic. In the earlier, if you look back, back when they couldn't hear me when my mic wasn't working, or sending when I wasn't sending, my voice wasn't getting into the game, you could hear the other players through the stream, through the recording, right? But as soon as the mic started working, I wasn't able to. So we're going to have to keep working on that. And here I told them, I said, I'm putting a Hellstorm down. I'm sending a Hellstorm because the P1 is outside. And they all ran right to it. They all ran to P1, and look at us now. But we still come away with the win here, so congrats to us. Spoiler alert. But I wanted that headshot. Oh, don't shoot your teammate. Should have just spammed the right trigger there. Could have killed him if I just went pow, 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 pow. Sometimes I really spam the shit out of the left trigger, especially in a close quarter situation. I'll just go left, 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 and I just try to snap to them as many times. You can see in that one pistol, there's a one pistol kill I have where on Skyline in this clip where I do that, where I just kind of, pretty sure it's Skyline, where I go, left, right, left. I aim down the sights several times and shoot each time I aim down the sights. Because you get more aim assist on the initial. That's what I'm thinking. I'm pretty sure that's true, and I feel very confident that that's true, and that you get more aim assist when you initially aim down the sights, and less while you're holding it down after you aim, you press the left trigger. I think you get more off of that. So that's why I'm like spam left trigger. And I also think it counteracts that lag on the lane assist that you get, that I've been talking about as well, that many people bring up, that aim assist just doesn't really work. There's times where it does work, it just works intermittently. There's times where my reticle has just not been able to miss them, like I'm on vault, playing vault, and I'm aiming down over I'm on catwalk, and I'm aiming at P2, and there's a guy in there, and I'm just holding down left trigger, and I'm kind of like looking at the mini map or something like that, and it literally just traces him like a fucking, yeah, like a heat missile. Like he literally didn't miss him at all, like in an infinity sign or whatever, like a figure eight, you know. And I didn't actually, hit him at all. I didn't shoot at him at all, but I saw that happen, and I was like, okay, aim assist does not work properly. It works intermittently, and so that's, I mean, there's so many good things about this game. I just, you know, that's one of the things. When it's intermittent, it's frustrating. Don't kill your teammates. I said, I'm sorry, and he was like, nah, it's all good. He actually goes on a whole thing about how it was totally fine if you, after I killed him. It's kind of funny. There, I was wondering why sometimes I get so little recoil, and that's one of those cases where I was like, I got so little recoil that I miss, and so that doesn't always work the way that it should either. Yeah, and so if you can imagine, and so many people are calling for this, I think, and I think they're eventually going to go with it, even though they may end up losing money. Not losing money, but making less money. But well, oh yeah, this is the one where I actually go to new, yeah, and the exact same thing happens, except he just goes left instead of right. Yeah, so the first one I didn't. This is the one where he said go to new, and I was like, all right, this time I'll go, because last time you were probably right and I didn't listen. And I end up telling him that. But yeah, imagine if it was like Elder Scrolls. I mean, clearly the people who make this game are capable of making a very good game, right? They're rushed. They have to put so many things into the game. Oh yeah, and here's your kill cam where I'm like, is he walling? Because he looks left here. Hold on. He looks through the wall here, and I'm like, I don't know about all that, dude. So yeah, and he's got the scope on it, and I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to friend request you. Sorry, even though we did work very well together. It definitely could have been a whole bunch of reasons why he knew they were there, but that's beside the point. Damn, really good catch in this Cowboys Commanders game. Holy crap. Tiptoe. Got the Jordan 1 cleats. Yep. So we got one more game here. I think it's Hacienda Control coming up. Yeah. This game is interesting. I was very suspicious that they were hacking, but wall hacking specifically, and my teammates agreed with me. But we did come away with the win. And that's good. I shouldn't give away. I'm sorry I'm giving away the what happens, but it's still pretty entertaining, I think, with or without knowing what specifically happens. You still feel the whole ride of it, I feel like. Yeah. Sometimes they sucked. I was like, damn. This team was, yeah, the team we played against, it was weird too, because like sometimes they were really abnormally good, killing me really fast and not knowing where they were, and other times it was like, how did you let me survive that? I'm like, are you letting me survive so that you don't get reported? I'd love to know. But yeah, somewhere in the middle of these, I think after game 2, the guy goes, you suck. And we're like, you're literally losing 2-0. If we suck, then you really suck. And yeah, I want a 10-page paper on why that's true, because I don't believe you yet. Yeah. I want to change my emblem. I don't like the snake. I don't like snakes, really. I just thought it was the coolest one that existed so far. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Will is wall hacking, because look, I go right here, and he's pre-firing me again. Oh, no, wait. Okay, that happens later. He pre-fires me going a different direction later. But I mean, I totally get spawn killing. I totally get, especially on especially on A there. You know, uh, you put three teammates on A, and then you try to catch, play block by spawn killing. Makes a whole bunch of sense. I mean, number of times Cold Havoc says spawn killing, spawn killing. I'm spawn killing team. That's what I'm going to leave the hard point and go put pressure on them before they even get here. Yeah. One thing I did hear that in this gameplay is probably play for the spawns a little bit too much at the wrong times. So I'm still learning how to get the right spawns, and it doesn't really apply to control. I don't think the spawns switch on control. I'm not pretty sure they don't. But like hardpoint, you can control the spawn, and it really matters what spawn you have at what time. It's even more important than having the hardpoint, because if you can get people, you can just get more guns on the hard point over time, you have such an advantage. It's not a guarantee that you win, but it's a big advantage, especially when you look at ranked play. Everybody's so even in most cases. You gotta know that and work for it. Work towards that. I wanted that kill. I was like, how the fuck? I should have done this before. I should have gone this way. But the fact that door is not even open is not a good indicator. Oh, but the spawns did switch though, so they do switch. Okay. I mean, respawn. The spawns can switch on a respawn. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. Got B pretty well there, or A pretty well there. Here I'm telling them, I'm thinking about just playing for kills. We only have a 3-kill lead, but I'm thinking about, because I'm also feeling like if we just try to kill them, we'll win because we're better than them, that's what I was thinking. Here, I should have peeked cat. I peeked the catwalk here, the platform here. No, this is not platform. This is catwalk. I peek that, and I stay here way too long. I do see that guy, and that's good, but I should have gone to the platform because the platform is the spot for B. For P, I forget what hard point it is number, but yeah, that platform is a really good spot because you can bug out. If shit does go wrong, you're probably not gonna die before you can bug out, and you have a really good before you can bail. And you have a good overwatch, and you can leave before you die, probably, most certainly. I don't know what to call this area. I was struggling to communicate a little bit about, like, oh, he's behind the wall. He's behind the wall. Like, there's what wall are you talking about? It could be that wall. It could be a lot of walls. Yeah. Also, I really want to know. I'm 100% certain that there was a map um, in a previous Call of Duty. I think it was Black Ops 2 or Ghosts. I'm not 100% sure, but there was a map that I played several times that looked so much like this, right? It wasn't a hacienda. It wasn't a house. It reminds me of slums from Black Ops 2. I've mentioned this in a live stream before, and we've got 4 minutes left of this, a little bit over 4 minutes left. I would love to know if somebody could tell me what other map has these hallways. Like, it's a reskin of an old map. I'm telling you, it has these hallways and the middle area. I would love to know. And I know that Hacienda was in Black Ops 3, was in another Black Ops. Don't tell me, please don't just say it was the other one. It's not. There was another map without water, without a Lambo, that had these tunnels, these hallways in the middle, those the square catwalk around the fountain in the middle. I forget what it was, but it was one of those Black Ops 2, Ghosts, one of those games. in that time frame. Oh no, that looks like aimbotting to me. A little bit. Yeah, here's me laughing at them saying we suck, and I'm like asking them for a 10-page paper, and my teammates are laughing with me. I met these software engineers on the topic of cheating and how to make the game better. Um, I talked to these software engineers at a New Year's Eve party, and they were like, "Yeah, we don't play this game. We don't play Call of Duty that much. We're more of like single player game people." Oh, there we are. I got interrupted, but anyway, um, I'm back on it now. This is still very much one take. This is only a few minutes after I got interrupted, but and we have 2 minutes left. But yeah, they said they're more single player people, right? And but at the same time, the game they think the game is very fixable. I told them everything that I had a good conversation with them. They're like, a long conversation where they're like, aim assist, that's fixable. Intermittent, they just have to increase, the tick rate on the servers, exactly like Nadeshot has been saying. And, the cheating is tough because people aren't going to want the invasive kernel level detection or whatever. But, one thing that is connected to that is like, well, they don't want the invasive kernel level because they're cheating or because they want to hide something that they and it's not like they're not going to get your medical history. They're going to get like you know the fact that you're cheating. So if you see complainers about the invasive quote unquote kernel level detection for cheating, then they're probably cheating. But yeah, it was a good discussion of all of that. But we got to kind of come to a conclusion now, I guess. And this has been fun. I love the voiceover. I do wish that you could hear a lot of what I was saying in this video, but uh, is what it is. I think that voiceover or me, just straight out of the recording is reasonably good. I do like this one take, like rough draft kind of thing. Like um, I want it to be real, like live music. It's not perfect, but it's fun. It's entertaining. So I'm gonna keep posting and like and subscribe. Hit me up. Like let's work together. Fuck. Let's go. All right. Peace out, everybody. Yeah, it's all love for real.